welcome back again. Three, two, one, live limitless. Today we are going to have a limitless live with Malika Bajaj, who is considered as a Wonder Woman rooting for tectonic shift. She features on several covers and multiple international award-winning uh, person for her work for and as Little Yellow Beetle, Apna Doctor, and Ballistic Learning, and so on and so forth. Many different roles she is playing right now. And Malika has also been one of the pioneers in media and communication and innovation, sustainability in technology industry, and providing a plethora of unique products and services with varied approaches that command their client satisfaction ratings that's so high. That is also probably the reason why they get their utmost respect and loyalty as well. So welcome back to the show, Malika.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure.
Fantastic. So let's start the first question. The 321 interview series is all about three questions and two tips and one resource that Malika is going to share with us today. Let's start with the first question, and it is going to be a question about a question. Let's see. It goes like this: like, what is the most common question that you get asked all the time?
I think, firstly, I love your format, and your question is just amazing because I think it's one of the finest questions that everybody asks to get people to know more about them. I'm going to speak from the designer space industry primarily when I speak today. I think all us designers are very, very tired of hearing questions that are pertaining to the same field where you say things like, can I get something really quick? We haven't finished writing the copy, but can you give us a draft? Or can you do lots of different versions? I think that's my favorite question that a lot of people ask us as designers, because I think it's like going to a doctor, to be honest, for people who don't understand design clearly, because it's like going to a doctor and saying, I can't explain to you what I'm feeling, but I feel troubled. And I'm suggesting to you, doctor, that you give me a multiple organ surgery and I'll see how I feel better, where I can, where I can suggest that you could probably take it from. And then we can start from scratch. So basically, when someone says those kind of things, I think are my favorite. Also something like, can you put it in a format that I can edit? I think designers love that one because we understand that we can give you formats, but do you have softwares? Do you have the understanding, the expertise of, changing the carefully crafted project for the worse if you don't have any design expertise, design software? So sure, of course, we can give you anything you like, but those are the most annoying ones. Yeah.
I understand totally because it's so important. I get that all the time too. Like because we work with authors, like first-time authors sometimes,
Yeah.
and then when our writers create a fantastic manuscript for our authors, sometimes they get back asking like exactly the
Yeah.
same thing that you said. Like, can I edit it? Like they don't have the software to edit in the first place.
Yes, to begin with, and not the expertise, because I don't think people realize that designers, creative people spend years, and of course they're talented, but I mean they spend years honing a craft. So it's like I said, going to a doctor and saying, I don't know where, but why don't I recommend you do a multiple organ surgery or start from scratch? Yeah, that's
That's a
how a
that's a
designer's life is.
that's a fantastic analogy. I would say it's a very good metaphor. I would say.
Thank you.
All right. So it brings us to the second question. Like I see that you have been, you have been going through different roles that you have the Yellow Beetle, and you have Apna Doctor, and you have Ballistic Learning, and many other roles that you are managing successfully, I would say. So how have you been able to establish like who you are today, like in such a short period of time?
I think that's a loaded one. I'm fairly young, so I don't think I've been able to establish a lot of what I think I'm set out to do. But to be honest, for anybody who's starting out and whoever thinks my journey is exciting, I can promise you that there's a lot of hard work, which is of course cliche. And you put something. You put a lot of like work, a lot of academic hours, a lot of unending days at work, sleepless nights, for something that you're uber passionate about. And I I think I love telling stories. Fortunately, I've academically equipped myself in being able to tell them in multiple formats. So I can do audio, visual, graphic design, coding. I think all those are like my academic expertise. But I think having said that, for anybody, I think to be able to achieve anything, I think the team that you put together, be it your personal or your professional, the ecosystem that you create for yourself, I think is very, very important. And I think the most important element there is, of course, you can find people who are talented and are good, or maybe even better than what you can do yourself for your brand or your team or your job or at work and in your personal life. But I think communication is key. If you can't communicate with them what it is that you need in the short run, I don't think you can do long run projects. You can't even, I think, order a delivery from Zomato if you don't know how to communicate with the people. And so I think invest in finding people you can communicate with who understand your language. Yeah.
Absolutely, bang on. So,
Thank you.
and that comes back to working with people. Like you work with a lot of people, but how do you choose who you want to work with?
So I'll be very honest. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've fortunately also equipped it because my sister and my mom work with me. My sister heads our office, so she's actually a very, very good reader for people. Having said that, I think the one thing that I've learned in the past few years is be very, very wary of people, particularly those who speak things like, "We want things done very, very quick. Okay, we don't have time now. Just hurry up." And also, by the way, we don't have budgets. We have a very small amount set out for this, but we have a major deadline. Or say things like, can you polish our work for us? Or say, people who don't like to work with contracts. And of course, people who say, we'll promise you a bigger, better project in the future. But right now it's this, okay, just focus on just getting this right. I think we all end up entertaining those at some point in our life because we're passionate about the work that we're doing. We're passionate about change. We see major scope of improvement with our expertise. And also, more often than not, I think a lot of projects that come to us are sometimes you hit a project that's too close to your heart, so you really want to do it. And of course, the scary one is, we're friends, we need help. But remember, I think money doesn't buy everything. And while it is important, and I think if I could, and if money could buy things, I would be one of the first people to invest in buying a few people I know, integrity, honesty, and the understanding that while, replication is the biggest form of flattery, you can't end up going too far in life if you end up using people. So start being alert about the communications that I just pointed out, and just follow your heart, take those lessons as a practice for your craft, and stay passionate, stay excited, and make mistakes. I think those things are big life lessons. Sometimes at work you might end up learning something about personal life goals that you don't want to be yourself, but yeah, be wary of people is I think my only suggestion of choosing how to work with people. And I think these things that I pointed out are some of the most common used phrases in the industry for people who like to use people. So just be alert.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's always fun to work with people that like your work and resonate with your messaging, and also like appreciate what you do, and we can help each other.
I
It's
think
not
so.
just
And
about
you find them, and I'm not even saying that you don't find them. You find those people. I think
exactly.
when experts trust experts are when magic happens. When you start imposing your expertise on a project or an understanding that you have, like you're clueless about, and like it's like I'm again going back to telling a doctor that I think I need surgery. I think that's when you know you can't work with this person because he's such an expert. Like, what are you going to teach them? Yeah.
Exactly. And many doctors that I've been interviewing about for the show, like I've been interviewing doctors as well. They have the
Yeah.
same. This is their pet peeve as well. Like they say, people come with already they go to Google and they come
Google,
with a lot of
yeah.
information and start questioning my expertise. That's the
Yes,
biggest
I
problem.
think that is the core, and that's why I'm using that analogy as for designers as well, because I understand that a lot of people confuse design with fashion designing and say, "Oh, we go to a shop, we don't fit it, one size doesn't fit all." But there's a big difference in fashion and wearable products versus graphic, which is a digital product. I think the fact that we're giving you something that is going to be telling your story, it has to be customized. We have the expertise. If you trust us, please come. Let's enjoy the journey together. If you don't trust us, please go tell Google to do it, and
Yeah,
we'll see you wherever you land up. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So the three questions beautifully answered. Thank you so much.
Thank
Now
you.
let's come to the next part, which is I would like to ask you to share one or two resources, one or two key pieces of advice. We'll come to the resources next. So, what would be to your two pieces of advice for our viewers today?
So I'm a big believer because I'm growing up, of course, everybody, at least in the country that I come from, has a lot of advice for you for everything and not too much expertise or experience to come with it. But I think, to be honest, I think everybody has their own purpose in life that they're sent out to set out to do. And I think understanding that your purpose, your journey, your path is unique to you, the earlier you understand that is better. So, it's very exciting to listen to successful people tell people how they sort of achieved something and they spend money here or they like work hard on something. I think it's very important to listen to those stories so you understand and learn. But I think just being honest to yourself, working on yourself inside out, spending time understanding what is it that you're passionate about and making actions towards achieving that goal, I think is very important. Like I said, I could be giving you multiple set of tips and I could give you my entire like plan, but it will not work for you because I'm as unique as you are. So I would probably suggest that you are happy for somebody's success. Make sure that you applaud for them. Wish everyone well. Don't stay negative. Like try and be as positive as you can be for not just yourself but for the people around you. And I think that's I honestly think that if you can be there for somebody in their darkest hour as a human being, I think that is the only act you are set out or send out to do for humanity. I think all the other things are just personal experiences and how you react to them. So yeah, that is my only advice. So just believe in
Fantastic.
yourself, do whatever you want, and believe in yourself. Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Because that resonates with a lot of people. Like human connection is the basis of
Yeah.
everything, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
So before we end this interview, I would like to ask you to share any key resource that you want to point our viewers to. It could be a book, it could be a TED talk, it could be anything that you think our viewers can have or should have.
So, I think resource-wise, there's so much out there. There's so much content, etc. And I definitely I've recently taken up to reading. It's only been a few years. I've always been a very visual like person, but reading is exciting. And the one book that I think I would recommend people because I've recently come across it is Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi. Absolutely the best piece of literature that I've ever read. Having said that, I think I'm a big believer. I don't know if it's a resource, but travel, so that you can end up spending time with fellow human beings. I truly, truly believe that knowing other people, their stories, their experiences, emotional evolution, people from different backgrounds, culture, race, religion, gender, sexuality, I think it's by far the most profitable, undocumented, and underrated resource used to grow.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mallika Bajaj here. We are with Mallika Bajaj today to live a limitless life. And thank you, Mallika, again for
Thank you.
joining us
Thank you
on the
so
show
much.
and sharing your insights and your expertise and resources and the
My
tips as well.
pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.